world is waiting for those to be answered. Jon Jones has as much talent and raw skill as anyone in the world. His confidence is as high as any fighter to ever grace the octagon.
He's living a dream right now.
Yes,
he really is. He is the man. He is the guy. He is the new breed. And this confidence, this is what comes from destroying Lyoto Machida, Mauricio Shogun Rua, Quentin Rampage Jackson, defeating his adversary Rashad Evans. This is what it comes from. Being the youngest ever UFC champion and being the first guy since Chuck Liddell to hold on to it and defend it several times and against top flight competition, and to only maybe lose one round ever. And that's the first round against Lyoto Machida, and that's debatable.
That was right here in Toronto. Jon Jones looking to defend his title for the 4th time. Chuck Liddell was the last man to defend the light heavyweight title 4 times. Johnny Bones Jones stepping into the Al Fuse prep point, getting ready to battle the Phenom Vitor Belfort. The possessor, perhaps, of the best ground and pound in this division since Tito Ortiz, especially Joe, with those lethal elbows. An athletic family, to say the least. Arthur, his older brother, a member of the Baltimore Ravens. Chandler, his younger brother, as a rookie already making an impact at linebacker for Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. And they play tomorrow, the Ravens and the Patriots. A rematch of last year's AFC Championship game. But tonight, those two are on the same team, and that is the Jones team and the Jones family, as Johnny Bones Jones gets set to face his 5th straight former champion. The son of a preacher who has gone from sheltered to rock star. 16-1 as a professional, that only lost by disqualification in a fight in which he was dominant against Matt Hamill. The champion, the challenger. Our tale of the tape for this, our main event of the evening, is brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go, the Phenom, 10 years the elder of Jon Jones, the champion, who is 4 inches taller, and he will have a 12.5-inch reach advantage. With the official introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening. Presented by Assassin's Creed 3, sanctioned by the Ontario Athletic Commission, Commissioner Ken Hayashi. Our 3 judges scoring this contest at Octagon side are Richard Bertrand, Doug Crosby, and Jeff Blatnick. And when the action begins, our referee in charge of the Octagon, John McCarthy. This bout is sponsored by Bud Light. Here we go. The all-new Dodge Dart and Sony Pictures, Here Comes the Boom, in theaters October 12th. And now, this is the moment UFC fans around the world have been waiting for. Live from the Air Canada Centre in Toronto, Canada, it's time! 5 rounds for the undisputed UFC Light Heavyweight Championship of the world. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. This man is a mixed martial artist, holding a professional record, 21 wins, 9 losses, standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 204 pounds. Fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida, by way of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the former UFC Light Heavyweight Champion, presenting the challenger, Vitor the Phenom Belfort! And now, introducing the champion, fighting out of the red corner, This man is a look-see-do fighter, holding a professional record, 16 wins, 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 204.5 pounds. Fighting out of Endicott, New York, USA, presenting the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Johnny Bones Jones!
Gentlemen, we went over the rules in the back. I want you to fight clean, fight hard, protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. If you want to touch gloves, touch them now. Good luck to both of you.
Jon Jones, Vitor Belfort for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship.
You ready? You ready? Let's get it on.
Here we go! Tonight's clock brought to you by Sony Pictures. Here comes the boom. In theaters, October 12th. That was close. Could have been a kick to a grounded opponent.
Yeah, I don't think Vitor cares.
There's that oblique kick that he uses so well.
That was a front leg side kick. He actually just threw a side kick to the leg.
Watch for the oblique coming up then, Joe, because he loves to utilize that. Look at this, looking for the takedown.
And he's a guillotine attempt by Vitor. He lands a punch and he's on his back. Not good for Vitor.
And the ground and pound we talked about of Jones, especially with the elbows, absolutely lethal. Belfort has been on his back.
And this could be part of the strategy of Jon Jones because Vitor Belfort is exceptionally explosive in the beginning of the fight.
Yes.
If he could wear Vitor out, tire him out, it could make things interesting. Now, one thing we've never seen off of Vitor is submissions from his back. He can defend himself from his back. I'm sure he has submissions. Oh, armbar! He's got it! He
finished it right here. Vitor Belfort looking to finish this fight. Jones trying to power out of it. Can he get it?
He might break that arm, Mike. He might break that arm.
Wow!
You know what? It's a little high now. I think he's out. He's out. He's out.
Wow.
That's one thing we hadn't seen from Vitor before. But he just shows he has it. He just showed he has it. That was very, very close. And he might have popped his arm. We don't know how John's arm is right now. We know he got out of that, but it looked hyperextended.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt under the great late Carlson Gracie. Born and raised in Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, not just a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, but one who's been one since 1996.
Crazy.
That's a lot of mat time, and you got to know that he trained to be on his back because he knew that Jon is a sensational wrestler. That was very close.
Tonight, Belfort facing...
He's bloody. The elbow of Jon Jones has cut Vitor over his right eyelid.
His elbows are just amazingly lethal.
Again, he turns for it. Lost it that time. He's attacking that right arm. And the left elbow again of Jones gets through. And Vitor is a bloody mess already.
It's over the right eye of Vitor Belfort facing his 8th former or present UFC or Pride champion tonight.
And Jon hits it. He's hitting that left elbow over and over again. There it is again. Just sneaking it in there. There it is again. Oh, big punch by Jon.
See the damage done to the eye from those elbows of Jones. Big John McCarthy right on top of the action.
Vitor's got one foot on the hip and the other one on the other side.
Watch your head, Jon.
There's a lot of blood on Vitor's face. That cut is getting nasty, and that's going to impede his vision. It's pouring now out of his face, and he hit it again. And Vitor's got to control the posture of John Jones to stop this elbow. He's trying to get wrist control now and hold on to that arm, keep that elbow from landing. Vitor's turning the hips from the bottom. He has got to protect that eye. If that thing gets any worse, they could stop it in the first round.
Jones went for the takedown, nearly got armbarred, but is now showcasing his outstanding ground and pound.
And he's doing it all from inside the guard.
Man.
The length of John Jones allows him to put real power into his shots from the guard. Vitor's rolling again. Oh, he tried the arm on the other side.
Just over 20 seconds on the clock here in the first round. Will Jones allow him to get up? Jones takes a look at the clock. I think John Jones is pleased with the way this first round went, even though he was nearly armbarred. Nice shot there.
Now he's in side control.
Round one in the books.
Look at his arm.
Yeah, he's holding his arm.
Olha só, quando cair agora, quando for agora, não deixa ele te colocar na grade.
Feel no pain now, John. You feel no pain. Understand me? No pain now, right now. You feel no pain. Hey, I want you to hit him with that elbow that he hurts you with. Understand? You're gonna hit him with it. You're gonna hit him with it. All right, let's link it on.
John, he's hurt. He's cut. All right, way to go. You got tired because that's what you wanted to do.
Here's the armbar attempt. Look at this.
Now you can pick him apart anytime you want. Take him down one chair.
He's got a hold of it. He's pulling it tight to the butt. Man, that is really hyperextended. Big John wasn't in the way. Get your big ass out of there, Big John. I want to see what's up. And here's the elbow that cut him.
Vitor, you want to fight? Tell him.
Big John knows Vitor Belfort very well.
Yeah, he's
Stay right there.
Absolutely.
Good to go? Thank you.
Big John was almost, all right, you done? Thank you. Let's get this thing going again.
Yeah, I love how he handled that.
Absolutely. You know the Hoist Gracie Matt Hughes fight, knowing Hoist so well.
You ready? Get it on.
Round two. Will Jones look to take him down immediately again?
I believe that's most likely the case.
Can Vitor start to let those hands go?
Vitor's got to circle out and get to the center of the octagon if he can. Get away from that cage. The cage is going to hinder his movement backwards.
Giving away a foot of reach.
Yeah, he just doesn't want to be able to be boxed in.
There's the one we were talking about before that.
It's a front leg side kick.
Yeah.
It's not the oblique kick which comes off the back leg.
What it does, though, is it keeps your opponent at bay, and also it stops you because your knee buckles
Spinning
back.
elbow attempt there by John Jones.
It's an intercepting hit. Head kick by Belfort. Throws with the hands.
I'm curious to see how bad John's arm is hurt.
Kind of grabbed the elbow on his way to the corner, Joe.
He certainly did.
So let's see how much he throws the right hand.
That side kick that he's throwing hyperextends the knee. There it is again. He threw it again. He's really stomping on that thigh of Vitor.
John, close the hand when it comes out.
He uses it much like the teep in Muay Thai to keep his opponent at distance and use that great reach advantage of his. Used it over and over again against Rampage. Rampage could never get in and engage.
One thing no one's been able to do to John so far is attack the legs. No one's been able to throw really effective leg kicks. That was a nice one there by John. Oh man, that's a nice technique.
He uses it all the time.
And that's a new wrinkle in his game, man. That's not, we haven't seen that one that much from him before.
He gives a lot of credit to Mike Winklejohn for really broadening his already great set of striking skills. Hard to get inside. Vitor trying to. Vitor needs to move and be first like we talked about before.
Yeah, he's standing right in front of him, and that is not good.
When he did it with Anderson Silva, it didn't end the way Vitor wanted. Round 2 of this championship fight. But a much more controlled pace here.
Front kick to the face, side kick to the thigh. John's starting to pick him apart. And Vitor is standing right in front of him. Wow, dropped his hands.
I want to see Vitor come out and throw combinations and force the fight.
Vitor finally threw a leg kick.
Tough right hook. Tough to get those leg kicks to connect, Joe, and you have to stay so far away from your opponent. Nice knee.
He pulled guard. Wow, that's crazy.
90 seconds on the clock here in round 2.
It's amazing he pulled guard, especially considering how much damage he took in that first round to his eye, and the fact that they're slippery right now, which makes submissions much more difficult.
This is a fight that Vitor Belfort wanted. He called Lorenzo Fertitta and said, "Hey, I want this fight."
Vitor's going for that right arm again. He's trying not to telegraph it, but he's making sure that he keeps that left forearm in the crook of the elbow.
Yeah.
He's keeping it in there, and he's trying to move his hips, but he's trying to make sure that he doesn't telegraph it too much. That is what he's going for. He hasn't moved that left arm from that elbow. See how he keeps it doing there? He just doesn't want to telegraph it. But that's what he's going for. He's waiting for the opportunity when John Jones makes a mistake. He's waiting to lull him to sleep there.
30 seconds on the clock here in the second. Vitor defending much better here in the second. On his back with Jones in the full guard here. Not the damage that was thrown by the champion in the first round.
Here's the opportunity. He heard the clap.
Yep. Final seconds of this round.
Put the foot on the hip. Yep. Look at that. Look at that. Triangle attempt.
Final seconds, though, Joe.
What Vitor is doing is like old school Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Patient, wait for your opportunity, wait for your opponent to make a mistake.
Isn't it interesting that Royce Gracie is sitting in the front row watching that?
It certainly is. Well, I'll tell you what, if he was wearing a gi, it'd be even easier to pull off what he's doing.
I'm going to give you your water in your hand, and you drink it when you like it. Excellent round, John. Now listen, I need you to pass his guard, okay? He's just sitting in there. So after you strike a little bit, do that knee slip through, okay? Pass his guard. Understand me? And then look for the mount there, look for your ground.
After the distraction's down low, he's so worried about the distraction down low, it's hurting so bad, just stab him in the face. All right? Go right through it, stab him in the face. It's easy for you, all right?
Now you're warmed up, you're flowing.
Não para na frente dele. Solta a esquerda. Solta a esquerda, não puxa para
Believe in
baixo.
that 7. Rashad keeps saying, what's the 7? I don't know anything after 3. Jab is 1, right hand's 2, left hook is 3, and then 4 is an uppercut? What the hell is this?
Then you start talking about different combinations, different leg kicks can be.
Well, the thing is, every coach has a different
exactly.
7, really. Yeah, 7 could be a kick. It could be
just throw the one that works.
Winklejohn was calling for John to attack that thigh over and over again, and then go upstairs once Vitor gets used to it. Man, it's amazing when you consider the fact that this kid didn't grow up with a striking background.
It's crazy. Great wrestler, that's for sure.
Yeah, and that's part of the reasons why he's so good at striking. He's not worried about being taken down.
Everyone where it goes, Vitor.
Being born with the athleticism that runs in the Jones family doesn't hurt either. Give me a guy who brings the proper toolbox and we can build something.
Side kick to the body. He heard him. He heard him. He heard him. He heard him with that side kick to the body.
And now the axe kick the same way.
Vitor's in pain here. And that's something rarely seen, that front leg side kick. And it is an effective weapon, especially when you're a tall guy. And John's very, very aware of that right arm, that elbow. Now Vitor's trying to tie it up with an overhook.
Vitor has been with the UFC longer than any active fighter. Wants to win the title here tonight for the first time since 2004.
Vitor's tying up the right arm. Let that go.
Third round.
He went for an omoplata attempt there, but John slipped out of it. He didn't really secure the body. He's going to let him up.
3 minutes on the clock here in the third. The Phenom.
John, don't have
the
your
white
hand
trunks,
open when it's
red
out.
trunks for
Instant
John
right in the face.
Jones. Vitor bloodied but far from beaten.
Went for a spinning back kick.
Vitor closed the distance.
Again, stomped that thigh.
Vitor.
John did a good job of keeping his hand up high and defending.
Nice right hand by Jones.
That shows you that his right hand is okay.
I was thinking the same thing. His right arm, yeah.
Yeah, his elbow might be sore, but it's effective.
Adrenaline's a good painkiller, isn't it? And both of them have a massive amount of it right now.
Why is Vitor tying up with him? That's definitely not a good idea. He needs to get out of there.
Especially upper body with the great Greco of John Jones. He is tossed around, some of the finest wrestlers we know.
He pulled him to guard again. Crazy. If he's going to do that, he's got to attack more off of his back. You can't just pull him down here and hold on to him. I mean, he did come close in that first round, and he did come at least lock up the triangle. The position of one over the shoulder, one under the shoulder as far as his legs. But
well, Belfort's never scored a knockout or submission win in the third round. Of course, this fight could go 5 rounds. Generally, when he wins quickly, explosively. He's won half of the fights that have gone the distance. Jones has finished 7 of his last 8 wins.
You know, John McCarthy's a great referee to have in this situation because he's going to know when and if a fighter is not being active here in the
Absolutely.
round. And he will let a guy work if he, especially he knows a guy like Vitor is trying to set something up. He's not going to just stand him up here, which is important for Vitor's strategy. There's some attempts at ground and pound there by John.
Nothing like the first round, though, Joe.
John slipped over, tried to pass that guard. He's in the half guard now. And Vitor he's got half guard. He's trying to hip escape here.
30 seconds on the clock. Like I said, Vitor Belfort
He's going to get busted
this
up
fight.
with this
So
elbow,
mentally, he still feels that even though he's being damaged, he can win. 10 seconds. Another elbow by the champion. Headed to the championship rounds for the second time tonight.
That front leg side kick to the body that John Jones landed. Watch this, Mike. Boom, right to the solar plexus. And you see him just try to deal with it. I mean, it's a perfectly placed shot. Try to deal with it, but he's in agony there, and he has to drop down. And that's, I don't think we've ever seen anybody get dropped from a front leg side kick.
Good, digging. Brother, the only thing I need from you is keep your fingers going out towards your face, all right?
John, distractions are killing him. He's looking down, the stab's there. If you commit to it, he goes out with it. You got it? So distractions are there. 22s are there.
He taps.
It's there. It's
Olha pra mim aqui agora. Eu não quero que puxe tua guarda. Solta a mão, solta a mão.
Spinning back kick, yes, David Milazzo, Charles McCarthy.
Yeah, we've seen it several times.
Now! Not that one, that's wet. Go get it.
Dennis Seaver, Nate Moore.
Yeah.
Dennis Seaver's landed on a few people.
Yeah.
But the front leg side kick of John Jones. First time I've ever seen that.
Ready?
The guy get dropped.
Skill!
All right, here's the 4th round. The big question in my mind, Joe, is to be explosive, to get there first, to throw the combinations, to be ultra aggressive. Can he still do it?
Yeah, does he? How much does he have in the tank?
Can he? It's difficult enough to do it because of John Jones's reach and his great ability, but can he do it?
Vitor,
16, 17 minutes into a fight.
He tried a head kick there. He's just hesitated so much in this fight. This is what he needs. He needs a wild exchange.
He needs to be Vitor.
Yeah. Again, he pulls him into his guard. This is so crazy. And he winds up on the bottom in side control here. Oh, he's going to get smushed. This is it. Oh, man. Big elbows by John Jones.
Not good for Belfort.
He's trying to get him in a mounted crucifix. He just needs to secure the right arm. Now he's going for a Kimura.
It is all over!
That's it.
John Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion.
Good job, baby.
He submits Vitor Belfort to defend his belt for the 4th time.
Now,
And he's holding onto that elbow, Mike. I think he really hurt that elbow.
Our fight replay brought to you by Bud Light. Here we go.
And here you see he pins down that arm, wraps it up, and look how he immediately brings it down to the hip. Excellent technique. And that's something that a lot of, even veteran fighters don't do. He pulled that elbow all the way down to the ribs. That's where it's supposed to be. That's where it puts the optimum pressure on the joint.
With that submission victory, John Jones has the most submission victories in UFC light heavyweight history. That was his 6th. Vitor came close early. How close? I'm sure Joe will ask that question to John Jones.
I'm going to go ask it right now.
But after all has been said and done, the last 5 months, look how difficult it is for him to put on his shirt.
Love you guys.
John Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion and one of the greatest fighters to ever grace the octagon. And he's 25 years old.
Destroyed him, dude. Destroyed him with his legs. Love you. Hey, broke him. Let's go.
Mama, I got to put the hat on. Great job.
Vitor wanted this fight. He did everything he could. This kid is the now generation John Jones. And that belt is going to be put around his waist again. Here is Bruce Buffer with the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee John McCarthy has called a stop to this contest at 54 seconds of round number 4. Declaring the winner by tap out due to Americana, and still the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Johnny Bones Jones!
He remains the champion, and a special thanks to Johan Furuli as the winner of Belt the Champ on UltimatePoker.com. He helped out in the championship belt presentation.
I know.
And there is our lucky winner, and he puts it around the waist of the man who has held it for the last few years.
You were just talking to Vitor about your arm. That first round, how tight was that arm bar?
Oh man, he got that arm bar in every way, shape, and form. I've never had my arm pop like that before, and I don't know. I felt it, but I worked too hard to give up.
Yeah, we saw it hyperextend, and we weren't sure. It was kind of a weird angle to see what the damage was. How bad was it extended?
I honestly was waiting for it to break. I was not going to tap out. But, man, I tell you what, I've never felt that before. I got a lot of rest in it to do.
Now, in the second and the third, were you able to use it at all? When did you feel like you were, I mean, you started throwing punches with it almost immediately. What was that like?
I just felt numb. It was just a real numb feeling. You know, my brain is trained to throw it, and I just threw it. And it definitely didn't feel powerful at all. It was just a real numb feeling, so I got to see what's wrong with it.
You showed a lot of different techniques in this fight, especially that front leg side kick, both to the thigh and to the body. This is just another aspect of your game that you're working on?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I don't have too many southpaws to work with, like 2 on my team. So, you know, I watched the Lyoto Machida fight, and I saw that was a successful technique in that fight, so I just kind of went back to it. But I got a lot of work to do against southpaws, for sure.
Well, John, this is another big victory for you, a victory over a legend in Vitor Belfort, and especially after all of this controversy and all the adversity that you've been through. How does this feel right now?
It feels great, you know. There's a quote that says adversity is a teacher of a great general, and you know, I got a lot of great mentors in my life, and you know, especially, you know, my girlfriend's mom. Hats off to her, Sheila. She really taught me to be grateful for adversity, you know, and she said, you know, to consider them new opportunities to grow, and I really feel like a stronger young man standing here before you guys today.
Well, sir, congratulations on once again defending your title. The winner and still the UFC light heavyweight champion, Johnny Bones Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
4th successful title defense for John Jones. He submits Vitor.
Stand up, catch you some punch, but he was long. He moved his pace pretty well. He holds himself pretty well. So that's why he's a champion. And thank you very much, guys. Well, you guys, one of the reasons that I stepped here tonight, facing a great challenge. You know what? We should not be afraid of anything. We should search our dreams with confidence. I really thought tonight I would win, but as a champion, I respect him. Tonight he did better, he fought better, he deserved. Thank you very much, Jones. Thank you, UFC, Dana White, Lorenzo. Thank you for our support, guys. Appreciate it, Brasil. Amo vocês, dessa vez não foi. Beijo do meu amor, meus filhos. É isso aí, cabeça erguida. Muito obrigado, Rashad, Zé Mário, the Black Zillions. Appreciate all my trainers, Henry, Coach Roberto. Thank you for all my friends. Thank you very much, John.
Great words from a great man and a great champion and a legend in the sport. Vitor Belfort, ladies and gentlemen.
I was going to say, win, lose, or draw, to God be the glory.
Amen. Jesus, thank you.
How about a round of applause for you 2 great fighters, ladies and gentlemen?
If you want a role model for your son or daughter, those aren't bad choices. Vitor Belfort, so humble in defeat. John Jones remains the UFC light heavyweight champion. UFC 152, Jones versus Belfort, has been brought to you by the only motorcycles worthy of being in the octagon, Harley